On this week's GTA 5 o'clock, new cheat phone numbers revealed. Spawn in the Dodo, Death and Kraken wherever you want. And a new alien face at the top of Chiliad. It's all here on this week's GTA 5 o'clock. Hello and welcome to this week's GTA 5 o'clock. I'm your host James Jarvis and I'm joined this week by Mr. Trophy, Iain Wilson.
Hello.
Hello there, Iain. As we said at the top of the show, there's some new potential information relating to things at the top of Mt Chiiad,
yes,
which we've been investigating. But first off, there's some little things about returning players on current gen, and once you unlock the vehicles and aircraft that you get for being a returning player, you can then spawn them in almost any location you want by using a code on your cell phone. So this is for the Death, the Kraken, and the Dodo.
Yeah, so this is like, obviously we're all aware of the cheat codes you have to type in using a sort of button combination to spawn vehicles in and put different effects on. But these are kind of harking back to the old school GTA 4 cheats where you actually had to dial a specific number into your phone to make things happen. So yeah, there's 3 numbers have been discovered to put those vehicles in. You said we'll be able to pop something up on the screen, do you think? I'll read the number out.
Read the number out. We'll put them a link, the numbers in the description for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Right, so to get the Death car, you need to go to your contacts and then hit the square or the X button. I think it's on Xbox to get to the actual number pad. And then you want to type in 1999 332 84227. And on the letters on the pad that spell after the 1999, that actually spells out Death Car.
Yeah, now a lot of these, like, that's what they used to be in old school things, didn't it? You used to be able to remember the word.
That's
it. Just type the word in.
Yeah. So I guess if you, like, obviously you'll see the number in the description, but if you want to just remember Death Car, as long as you can remember the 1999 at the start, that can help you to whack it in straight away to get the vehicles. The next one is the submarine, the Kraken, which is 1999 282 2537, and that spells out bubbles.
Bubbles.
So that can be spawned. That can be spawned anywhere. Interestingly,
even on the land.
Even on the land, in the middle of the street.
Nice.
Obviously, it's pretty useless if you don't spawn it in the water. It doesn't really go anywhere. I think if you're sort of close to water, it'll drop it in. It basically drops out of the air in front of you, so you can drop it into the water without actually being in it. But if you do it anywhere else, it's amusing, but it's pretty useless.
Drop it on unsuspecting passers-by.
Yes, we might see a little bit of footage on the screen of that. Something similar to that actually happening. And then the final one is the Dodo seaplane, and that one is 1999 398 4628. And I think people weren't sure what that spelled out, but I've had a little play around with that this morning, and I reckon it spells out the word extinct.
Like the Dodo.
Like the Dodo, indeed.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think that's what they were going for with that one. Interestingly, with this one, in most places when you try and put that code in, it will just come up with a message saying can't spawn vehicle here. And from playing around with it earlier, it seems that you actually need to be swimming in water to be able to spawn this in next to you. It won't drop it in anywhere else.
So this won't go in the city?
No. I tried doing it in the city. I tried doing it in the city, tried doing it on the shore, tried doing it sort of waist deep in the water even, but it only seemed to work actually swimming around.
Right.
So
okay, fine.
But I guess if you're like stranded in the sea somewhere, it might be useful to spawn that in. You can fly off then. So.
Yeah, that is handy. There's also another code for PC players to open the director mode, which is 1999 578 25368, which is LS Talent.
Okay.
1999 LS Talent. Which will take you straight to the director mode on PC.
Cool.
But enough of this talk about phone numbers and spawning in vehicles that we know about.
Yeah.
There is something that's been brought to our attention from the comments of last week's video about a symbol of stuff on the top of Chiliad. Now, this is Nate Nelson. who said, "Has nobody seriously noticed the alien face on the back of the Mt Chiiad building? Right on the back side of the building in the centre, there's a bunch of alien faces that look like a totem pole. Then when you back up, you see one huge alien face."
Yeah.
Now, this obviously wouldn't have been apparent on the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions, probably because the textures weren't as a high enough resolution.
Yeah.
But now they're in the PS4 version. We've checked an unpatched version, is that right?
Yeah, I've done it on a fresh install on a PS4 with no patching or anything, and gone up to the top of Chiliad after doing the opening missions, and it is definitely there. So it would suggest it's been there since day one on the new versions.
Now, which probably means it's already been looked at and debunked as a thing, because I mean this kind of thing is why we need to keep hunting around, because although the Chiliad mural might be leading us to a dead end, there's loads of other stuff around the world that we can go and look at and investigate and that kind of stuff. So this is interesting, if nothing else, but with a lot of other things,
it's one of those things like you could probably walk past it 100 times and not notice it, but when you actually look closely and it's pointed out to you, it does look like a sort of a weird stack of different sort of alien faces in it, as described in a sort of totem pole. And then right at the bottom there's a kind of a shape which could be a sort of bulbous alien head with the big eyes.
Yeah, like the classic grey alien kind of shape. Which is interesting that it's on that wall, because that's where all the big mystery stuff is.
Yeah.
But we've seen this kind of thing before, of repeated texture patterns or mirrored textures being put next to each other that just happen to create shapes. And it's like it's hard to say whether it's intentional or not, because of the way the game works. And there's a lot of stuff in the sea that does repeated patterns that make faces appear in the waves if you look at it for long enough. and there's a lot of things with our brains, by looking at things that resemble patterns for long enough, you start to make shapes.
Yeah.
You start to go, oh, that's definitely an alien face. That's definitely meant to be there. But if you haven't checked it out, you can see the pictures of it on screen now. You can go and look at it now. You don't need to do anything. Just go up there, have a look at the wall.
Just go around the back of the cable car building and it's there.
Yeah, there's no other clues that we found yet relating to it.
No.
So I would probably guess that it is, unfortunately, just a brilliant coincidence that's put two textures together, and it's made to, because it's so symmetrical.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that highlights it would make me think maybe it is just a repeated pattern. But who knows? The hunt goes on, as we say. So if you have found anything else like that, please put a comment in the comments below, or get in touch with us on Twitter at GTAVOclock, or on Facebook at facebook.com/GTAVOclock. And we will continue to look at these leads every week until something happens, or the single player DLC comes out and it reveals some more content.
Yes.
So until then, we will see you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. BST.